And it's why we're wrong most of the time. Thanks for joining us, Casino Guitars. Johnny and Baxter here again. Talking about fantasy guitar shops in your town.
Dude, just like fantasy football.
It's just like fantasy football that I've never done, but I find it hilarious for some reason. I put that akin to, people make fun of like tabletop games. I'm like, it's the same thing, kids. Like you're like Warhammer 40K making fun of that, or nerfing D&D. I'm like, how dare you? You are doing the same thing. You've just disguised it with jerseys. Haha. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. But anyway, let's say you could have an awesome vintage guitar shop or an awesome sort of hybrid shop that has like new and some vintage stuff, but not much vintage stuff, just a few.
But gears towards
newer
things.
Right, yes. Because that's what, so, I don't know. I think we're probably going to both be in agreement on this one.
Probably.
A really good pawn shop that doesn't know what they have.
Yeah. You remember those days?
I do remember
those days. Awesome things in those days.
And it still happens once in a blue moon.
Just barely.
But no, we have a pawn shop literally down the street. They're like awesome dudes. They have a guitar there that I think we sold it for $9.99. They're selling it for $1,400. And it's the exact guitar that we sold to a customer or something. I'm just like, wow, I don't think it's gone up in value. I just think it's funny. So that's just, pawn shops have gone crazy too a little bit. Anyway.
That's a whole other video. The internet has ruined everything.
I know, the internet has ruined
Darn you, internet.
No, I think we'd both rather have probably a hybrid shop.
Probably.
Just like logically, I mean,
it depends, right? Am I in a town where I'm a tourist and I just want to go in and see things? Maybe then I want the true vintage.
Correct.
Assuming that it is awesome and they have like amazing things that you don't see very often.
Like when I go to Nashville, like and I have a choice, let's say I have time just for Carter's or Grunes, I might just go to Carter's just because I know I can go see everything without having to go upstairs.
Right. True.
And I can have that experience. I can do the vintage thing. I can see really expensive guitars that I know I have no business touching or buying.
Nope, that's true.
And if you're doing it as a tourist, a guitar tourist, that's maybe what I would choose.
Yeah.
It's just fun to see this old stuff that's outrageously expensive.
Right. But if it's in your town, we probably aren't making a ton of vintage purchases because I don't have a ton of vintage money.
No.
So maybe the new shop.
Yeah, I mean, I would enjoy just the ability to get new pieces that
are cool
and affordable sometimes.
Affordable-ish.
Because it used to be, now let's back this up in a time machine. 15 years ago.
Yep.
Maybe vintage, because you can find some sweet vintage deals 10 years ago even.
The problem there is I feel like when you could find the sweet vintage stuff, people didn't know it was sweet vintage.
Like 70s Les Pauls. Like who would have thought that'd be like a thing that's like expensive now. And 70s Strats and Tellys, like some of those in the 5 figures, which is crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Yeah, because I remember selling 70s Strats like all the time. Like, oh, cool, $2,000. Like, I can get this new one. It's the same price. I'll get the Elite. You know, that's what people are just like, oh, because it's a better guitar. It is a better guitar.
Yeah, it really is.
In every possible way.
Yeah.
But the 1979 Strat is now worth something.
It's a thing.
It's worth in its weight in gold. Literally, it's 12.5 pounds probably.
Right.
No, it's
and it kind of like the new shop, right? You could almost break that down. Do they have boutique things? Do they have custom shop kind of level stuff like Gibson Fender? Do they, what is it? Is it mostly mid-level guitars? Like that would be a...
Well, and I've always been like, I do love new stuff. I like looking at new toys. I like new guitars. I like going to when I look at cars, I like looking at new cars. Can't afford them usually.
Right.
But you used to be able to. But now, God, how much is an F-150 now?
Too much.
Like it's over, that's a truck. Yeah. I know. Truck, right? It's over $20,000, I think.
Oh my Lord! Wait, it's way over that. Yeah.
I know. We were looking at Honda Accord prices. And everything's it's a different. But we've been around for a while now, so
we're old.
No, but I like that experience. I like being able to, if they don't have what I want, they can maybe order it for me.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's a neat option. But there's that joy of just like wandering around at the cool vintage stuff and just finding a gem.
It's sort of like, when Christy makes me go to antique shops.
Makes you liar. You love antiquing.
Do I?
You don't.
Maybe I do. No, I don't.
I went antiquing on Taylor and I, my wife and I's first date. Antiquing. I think our second date.
Did you? Did you buy something?
I did. I bought some some boots from the Playboy nightclub in Chicago.
It's kind of cool.
And they were bought them down here in North Carolina, but they were boots that used to have Playboy clubs around the country, and these were like from the 70s. I gave them to James.
Does he wear them?
I don't know. They were really cool. They were like sort of high heel man boots.
I think I've seen him wear those.
Yeah, so I bought those, and
That's cool.
I sort of passed them off. Cause I don't wear high heel man boots anymore. I just wear tennis shoes because I'm a grown up, and I don't really care about style anymore. I just want to be comfortable. But no, it's antiquing can be fun for that.
I mean, it can
that's
be.
what antique guitar shopping is.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the antiquing for us guitar nerds.
Because like I might not be looking for guitars because I can't afford it. Maybe you're antique pedal shopping, which is kind of expensive too. I can rationalize spending a lot more on a guitar than I can on like a pedal component.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
far as like a
I can
vintage
too.
pedal.
Right, that is funny to me. The sort of collectability and prices of old.
Like my old like tube screamers that I had, my little collection of those things. The fact that those are worth so much money now
crazy.
just boggles me because they were like $40.
Trash.
Yeah, it's like nobody's like, oh man, you got that old Behringer pedal or that old what were the ones, the Dan Electro ones? Yeah, they're like the little plastic things that fell apart and they sound like garbage. Thank God they never. Are they popular now?
I think they are. I think some of them are. There's some. Do you remember when Dan Electro came out with the Cool Cat series and they were in little? I mean, they were horribly ugly metal enclosures.
No.
Those were great pedals. They were like upgrades. They were still dirt cheap, and I wish I still had some of those.
No, or even that Line 6 one that you brought. The
DO4.
Yeah, that was modded out.
Nose modded.
I was like, oh, I remember these were just garbage back in the. Oh, this is nose modded. This is worth a lot of money now.
It's true.
So funny. Pedals are weird.
I used to go to little antique places and look for
Pedals.
Tiny little bottles for the old finger slide.
I thought you were gonna say for your dollhouse collection. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. Like little tiny, like little fake Coke bottles. So that'd be.
No, you buy little metal. You could find medicine bottles, and if they weren't selling them as guitar slides, they were way cheaper because they were just little glass bottles.
My first slides were glass bottles that I broke and sort of.
But if they, if they knew that and they were like, oh, I can sell these for
I have lots of
$70,
cut up
$80.
fingers as a childhood because I was breaking glass bottles and putting them on my hand.
I mean,
My parents thought it was like a weird cutting phase for me, but it was me trying to make Robert Johnson sounds. Weird. Unsuccessfully, I might add. I've never quite mastered that slide work. I just sort of let it die on the vine on that one. Yeah, so I mean, like I'm gonna still stick with. I'd like to have like a hybrid if I could get like.
I think that's the
if
answer.
I could get like 50-50 both, it'd be like ideal. Like it's like half the shop's vintage, half the shop's new. It'd be amazing.
What if you had to choose between there was no hybrid, you had to pick straight vintage, straight new? What are you picking?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna go straight new, I guess.
I think that's probably.
I mean, it's just for affordability option too, and to be able to get the coolest, newest stuff.
Right.
I'm still trying to convince my wife and family that the new Xbox is a necessary Christmas present for the kids this year. We were talking about the Nintendo Switch, but I've sort of just diverted that because I think they're gonna have a new one next year.
That's probably true.
It's on the 5-year life cycle right now.
Yeah.
It's got to be going on.
I mean, can't you like watch all your TV and stuff through the Xbox?
Yeah, I do that already.
You need it.
I have the Xbox One. Is that what it's called now?
Come on, Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You can do it.
Team Taylor.
It's for the family. Don't you care about your family?
Well, Halo.
Your together time.
I mean, I don't even play video games hardly anymore, but it's just the idea of I just want it to be there. Like, it's like I don't get to like make love much anymore, but just the idea that it might be there.
That it's maybe
possible.
Out there, like in the distance.
And if you haven't seen it yet, the new Dune came out. You haven't seen it.
So
and this is a Dune junkie. He's read all the books.
I love Dune.
I'm just gonna say I haven't talked about movies in a while. I've watched the first hour and a half of it. I had to break it up because I have a life and I don't get to watch much movies.
Because it's how long?
It's 2 hours and 38 minutes.
And that's not even the whole first book.
That's just half.
That makes me so happy.
Wonderful. It's like watching theater that doesn't suck. And theater can suck. So I worked in it for years.
True.
But no, the acting is wonderful, the visuals are wonderful, the sound design is wonderful, the action is wonderful. It makes you want to kill people with swords.
Or a Chris knife.
Yeah, you see
Just remember, when you take it out, you can't put it back in until the blade has been wetted. Wetted with the blood of your enemy. Remember that from the book?
Oh, I don't remember that. That's funny.
It's true. You can't.
Take
it out. You can't just pull it out and willy-nilly. You got to be ready to duel.
Pause from the movie for a minute and let's just take a moment to recognize that Jonathan looks like a normal sort of redneck.
I am.
No, you shush. You shush. He is a card-wielding, card-carrying member and one of the founding members of the Nerd Club of Casino Guitars. And
that's true.
If you too want to be part of the Nerd Club, just like comment like, hey, I'm with you guys. I get Dune. I get D&D. I get Magic the Gathering. I get like all the Warhammer jokes or like.
I just don't understand where the conflict is.
I know.
You can be a redneck.
That's how the world needs to be.
Gun loving, truck loving, whatever.
All the people out there that get political and angry about things in the world. I hate politics and we're all the same. We all just want to provide for our families and be nerds.
Yes.
Because like the nerd you want to be, you don't have to hide it anymore. You can just be that nerd.
Just do it.
It's amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
Like you can sit in your room and never leave and play video games all day. And I'm not going to judge you harshly. I'm actually going to say,
it's not the healthiest choice.
Whatever.
But
it's healthy for some. Thumbs up. Thumbs up to you. Ignore those other humans out there. Sometimes it's okay. Just like
maybe like Thursdays and Tuesdays are your stay in your room video game days. I'm just saying, balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Think about the Force.
Okay, maybe
balance in the Force. Balance in your life.
And that's what Derek was like. He's like, man, like this movie. He was sort of complaining about it because he never seen anything about Dune. He's like, it's kind of like a ripoff from Star Wars. I'm like, au contraire, 1965.
Or wait.
And like Star Wars is for, I love Star Wars, but that's for kids, like as far as, and that's what it's meant for. Dune is not meant for kids.
Dune is not for kids.
I'm pre-watching it before I think my 8-year-old is good to watch it.
Okay, cool.
But I don't think the other kids would enjoy it. It's just slow.
Right.
It's very methodical and you have to read.
But you said the action was amazing when it gets there.
It's just beautiful.
I can't wait to see it.
It's not like outrageous action. It's just like it's how a battle with swords would be.
I just need to see the sandworms.
And just get a brief glimpse of what I've seen so far.
Okay.
It's just amazing. And sorry if we lost you in the movie talk. The video is pretty much over at this point.
That's true. You could have tuned out. We're not going to say anything else useful. Nor did we say anything useful.
You don't have to have any mean comments like, that's where you lost me talking about movies. I'm so angry. Like, the fact that you made it this far anyway, I'm pretty pumped.
Good job. Way to go.
Take us home. Watch Dune.
Hit like and subscribe. Definitely watch Dune. Click the bell so you don't miss movie reviews in the future. We'll see you guys next time.
Podcast coming soon now.
Woo. We promise.